What's up, everyone? Welcome to Eyes Closed with Cassadee Pope. Hello, hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a while. And last time we talked, the world did not look the same way.
Like
Let's
this.
just,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
a little more open.
yeah. Um, but hey, I mean, we're doing this. It's amazing that on top of like the video thing, we've got the time difference. So thanks, girl,
Yes,
for making the time, taking out the time of your day
of
to be
course.
here.
Yeah. It was nice.
Um, Very cool. I mean, first off, obviously, we've got to talk about what the stars see. I'm, I swear, the first time I actually watched the video. That was the first time that I also heard the songs. I had the full
Oh,
experience for the first time, and I was shocked in a good way, in like a great way. Honestly, I think it's one of my favorite songs that you've ever put out. So
thank you.
so I heard you talk in interviews about like the inspiration behind the song, but I wanted to also ask you about the video and how like who came up with the idea, what's up with like the holograms and stuff. Can you tell
Yes.
me a little bit about that?
So I wanted to cast a wide net to some of my favorite music video directors on, hey, I want something edgy and sexy and cool and not super on the nose with the storyline, but something that looks totally different than everything else out there right now. And I got a bunch of treatments back from directors that actually my managers took the directors' names off of the treatment, so I wasn't being biased
Blind
choosing
audition.
an audition.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I picked the treatment by Ed Pryor, who was the director, one of the directors I really wanted to use, and he had the Blade Runner reference in there with just the kind of 80s, but also futuristic, like kind of hazy look with like really edgy clothes and the guy being monitored and all that stuff. And then I knew I wanted Lindsay and Karen to be in the video, so I thought of the hologram thing and like maybe it's not us standing in a room performing together, which can be kind of cheesy. Maybe it's them popping up on a TV screen or a computer screen or whatever in their holograms. So they shot in front of the green screen, which was really fun to watch. And yeah, the video just kind of it was a collaboration. Ed had his vision, and I just kind of put some sprinkles of stuff on it. And my stylist Krista Roser picked some incredible outfits that felt super like superhero, empowering, sexy, cool, different. I had my makeup artist and my hair person kind of just go off the rails a little bit. I really wanted to do a dark blue lipstick for one of
Yes.
the looks, and I'm so glad that it came through and it worked out. I got to have my touring band, my actual band, be in the video, which was fun because we've not been able to tour. So it was a
Mm,
fun day to get to play together again, sort of.
yeah.
But yeah, the video just really was about, kind of turning heads and it being not a super on the nose thing and taking it a little bit more into the sci-fi world.
So, but the sort of like Blade Runner idea came from the director. But is
Yeah.
that something that you're like super into? Are you
I mean,
secretly like a nerd, or like what's going on?
I will say, since I've been dating my boyfriend, he's really opened my eyes to the sci-fi world. I mean, I didn't watch Star Wars until I met him. Yeah.
I still haven't watched it.
Okay. You should.
I
It's
need,
really good.
yeah. Okay.
And it kind of reminds you, you realize how many movies are inspired by Star Wars because it
Makes
was the
sense.
first of its kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've like sort of opened my eyes to the sci-fi world, and that has definitely influenced some of the visuals of this single, because it's edgy and the song's edgy and it's more rock. And I think, when it's like you want it to be feel like otherworldly or something.
Hmm.
So yeah, Blade Runner is an 80s movie, so I was born in 89. I kind of missed the Blade Runner thing, but I watched it once because I knew what it looked like, but I had never saw it. So I watched it and I was like, yes, this is
Yeah.
the vibe.
So and what's going on at the end of the video? So you have like the error message, and then what's like the perspective?
So basically, the guy kind of realizes he's being monitored. He doesn't really understand what's happening throughout the video, and he's in a room with these plugs in his ankles, and he doesn't realize it. And the plugs are from the computers that I'm using to monitor and like monitoring his heart rate, looking at the video, kind of seeing how the song is triggering him in whatever way. So he's actually in the video supposed to be hearing the song, and even just some of the wires from the guitars and my microphone wire is like fed into the room that he's in. So the end of the video is him realizing he's been like monitored, and he's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And he unplugs himself from the cords, and I lose the connection, and I just walk away. And it's kind of a TBD story, because this body of work I'm working on is all kind of a story being told. So it'll continue.
Which leads me to the next question. I don't know what you're allowed to like say, but obviously I think you did say that the next body of work is going to be an EP.
It'll be an album, yeah.
Hey, okay. Oh wow. All right. Okay. Whoa. I need to lie down for a minute. No. That's even more awesome. Can you tell me anything else about what's coming? Either like the rollout, or in terms of musical style, in terms of songwriting, in terms of maybe more collaborations, anything you can give away.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have a date or anything, and I haven't announced like the title of it or anything like that. But I think, I've been talking about that there's a project coming, and it's definitely all leaning more into the pop rock side of things. It's What the Stars See, I feel like, is a really great bridge between what I've done and where I'm headed, because it's got that country storyline and lyric, but it's more in your face and rock and edgy, sonically and musically. So the more that I release the songs and sort of do like a trickle effect where I'm like getting people ready for the album, you're going to hear songs that lean more rock, and then you're going to hear songs that may lean more country, but there's not a song where there's none of each. Like there's a little bit of both and everything. And as far as the songwriting, I wrote all these songs in 2020 on Zoom. Everything during the pandemic. And so these songs are really raw. A lot of them are about decisions I've made that I regret, or about someone who's done me wrong, who I'm sort of kind of coming to terms with. That person hurt me, and I'd be allowed to still be hurt and not blame myself so much. So there's like very nuanced, very kind of difficult feelings I haven't really been able to put into songs until last year. For whatever, it's probably because everybody was just so raw, and it was like, oh, whatever, I'll just put it in a song and see how it turns out. But yeah, everything is really turning out to be like my favorite sound I've ever done, because it's back from what I used to do, but incorporating what I'm doing now, and it just feels very authentic, and I feel good doing it. So I know that I'm heading in the right direction with it.
Oh, that's great to hear. And it's always so weird, like looking back at, previous things that artists have done that say, oh, maybe I haven't always been my most authentic self, because I think, or, correct me if I get this wrong, but I think Stages was sort of like, you were very proud about it, and that you were able to kind of have that sound that maybe people didn't fully expect, or that it was full on sort of like country pop instead of, because I'm sure that a lot of your following still sort of has the kind of pop punk expectations, maybe. I don't know. But so I thought that it was very much you know, that album. But how do you feel about Stages now?
I love that album still, and I
Yeah.
am so proud of it because at that time that felt good to me, and that
Hmm.
felt, and I had songs that I had written when I was on a label that weren't fully embraced or understood, that I was able to finally release. So that felt really good. I think there was definitely like a little bit of an identity crisis, just a tiny bit, because I was fresh out of a record deal. I was still really unlearning a lot of the kind of formulaic things that you do when you're on a label, or things you're told by people on my team in the past that I was told about, you know, just things that why things won't work, or why you shouldn't collaborate with this person, why you can't collaborate with that person. And it's all political, and it's all fear-based decisions. And so I had to really unlearn that. And
Hmm.
Stages, I unlearned some of it, but there was still like remnants of that in me that didn't realize were there. So I can sort of hear that in the album, and I love it. And I'm never gonna like say that I regret doing it, because it was like my stepping out moment on my own, and my kind of freedom moment. But I think since then I've done more, you know, mental health work. I've done more learning about things that I'm using my platform to speak out on. I've done more just kind of accepting things from my past that I've like felt shame about, or felt like uncomfortable talking about, and just you know, I've come into my own more as a human. So I think that just kind of makes its way into your music. And you know, me as a human, I'm a pop punk kid who loves country music. So that's just who I am, and I'm embracing that. So
Yeah.
that's why it feels more me than Stages did.
Yeah. Ooh, I am so excited. Let me just tell you. Um, and I do think Rise and Shine deserves a special mention here, because I wanted to hear your thoughts on Sandpaper, because
Oh,
that to me is like, oh, ooh, that resonates big. Like, yeah. So
yeah.
I just wanted to hear some more about it, the background, and maybe, yeah, and
Sure.
anything else you want to share.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that record really was like something I needed last year. Like I just needed to release something that felt raw and genuine, and just they were songs that I had written in the past that had never seen the light of day, and I wanted to give to the fans to feel through. Like Sandpaper is a great example of a song that really kind of invokes a reaction, and it makes you feel like you know that everybody's been in that position where what the song talks about is somebody just trying to change you, even though you've told them a million times what you are, who you are, perfectly imperfect. They just want to change you. And in my case, it was definitely a career thing. It wasn't a relationship. And I thought it was fun to kind of read people's reactions of like, not fun, but I love when people interpret the song as something else than what I wrote it as. And it was definitely about, you know, being in this career and being a little bit more rough around the edges than a lot of the other artists I'm surrounded by, because that's not always the country mold.
Yeah.
um, and just really being like smoothed out and watered down over the years, and being told to chill it out, be prettier, don't cuss so much, or whatever. And so that song kind of just, I get to a point where I got to a point where I was frustrated and annoyed with it and just done with it, and wanted to move on, and just wanted to accept myself as who I am, and not let people try and change me. So that's how Sandpaper came to be. I was just in a very frustrating time in my
Yeah.
career.
Interesting. Because it,
Yeah.
it reminds me definitely of like a romantic relationship.
And it
Um,
can be, you
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. The beauty of the universality of music.
I know.
You're a great example, obviously, of like, let's say, genre crossing, right? So nowadays,
Yeah.
I mean, you've had this crazy tour of this like Blink 182 with Lil Wayne, that tour you've had, then like Machine Gun Kelly is all over like the pop punk world. So that's, I think, the most popular example I can think of is like hip hop and pop punk at the moment. Can you imagine doing a tour, like jumping on like a pop punk tour and then having you as
well,
like
that's what I'm excited about this project is I feel like it just opens me up to other opportunities. You know, I love country music and I've toured with some amazing artists, but there's just, you know, there's only so many you can be on. And I have this kind of sound now where I could fit on a pop punk tour or a rock tour or a pop tour, you know, so it feels like an opportunity. And I'm excited to see how that opens up. Even like rock festivals that I used to play, I can play again. And I think that's really exciting because I still listen to rock music. So getting to play a festival with some of my favorite bands again would just be incredible. So it'll be fun.
For sure. Shout out to you wearing your own merch to bed. I think it was like the Warped Tour shirt.
It was the Hey Monday shirt with the kind of Warped Tour logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
That shirt's really comfortable. And a lot of people
I believe you.
You know, when I'm walking around, they don't know what Hey Monday is. So it's great. I don't have to worry about someone calling me out.
But I love that. Yeah, I've had a look at like your merch items. Love the candles too.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cute. I also like the Stages like crop top with the like long sleeves.
Thank you. They're all really soft too. Like the company I work with called Future Shirts. It's their thing is comfortability, and I'm like, yes, because there are a lot of band shirts that I have that just they hurt.
They're like paper. They're like you put them on and it goes like hate it.
You don't want to make sounds when you're moving your arm.
Yeah, exactly. So hard. Okay. Well, really now, last question. I saw a video in which I think it was in your music room that I'm guessing you're in right now. Yeah. That you have a pinball machine. And do you have any like anything else in your house that's sort of like a quirky thing that you just love about your house, or maybe like just like a favorite spot around your house?
We do have this room upstairs that we call the fish room, and it's Sam has an aquarium that is just so beautiful and so relaxing, and there's like, you know, the lights that light up the room like blue. But what we turned it into, because it's this room right before you go out onto our deck, we've kind of turned it into like a little jungle. And one of my new loves over the past year is indoor plants. And
big time. Yeah.
We've got like, you know, plants just all over the wall on these floating shelves. And then we've got his aquarium. And then we've got this like cute little Smeg turquoise fridge that we put beer in and stuff if we want to sit on the deck. And it's just this like really quirky, cool room that you just don't expect when you go into a house. Just this like fish tank plant room. And yeah, we love it. I mean,
everyone's got a fish tank plant room, right? I mean, it's like the standard equipment. Yeah, for sure. That's so dope. Thank you so much, Cassadee. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Maybe get some stuff done. I don't know.
Yeah.
Still early in the day.
Done. Yeah.
Be safe.
Be productive.
Of course. Yes.
Thank you. It was good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. Can't wait to hear that new stuff. Whenever, you know. No rush, no pressure.
I've got a plan in place, so you'll be hearing new stuff soon.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take good care.
You
See
too.
You soon.
Bye.
Bye, Cassadee.